What is going up, everyone? I am back for another video, which is surprising because we haven't uploaded videos in quite a long time besides the last 2 days where we've had the iPhone XS and the Apple Watch Series 4, which I'm currently wearing, and I've been using this since Friday and love it. And I have the iPhone XS in the gold. I love it. Been using this. I bought a new Rhino Shield case with customizable buttons and the backs and all that, so that's not what we're here for. We're not here to talk about Disney, and we're not here about to talk about Apple. So, we're going to be talking about Android today. And today, Android, which is September 23rd, turns 10 years old, and I have the original Android phone right here. This is the HTC Dream, or known as the T-Mobile G1. And I was going to do another video compare this to the iPhone 3G and 3GS, but instead, I'm like, you know what? Today is Android's 10th anniversary. Why not compare this, see what the software was about, and talk about it. So I'm also going to be talking about 5 things that Android still uses, that we still use if you have an Android phone, that the Android HTC Dream or the G1, whatever you want to call it, still has, or it does have, but used when the first original Android version came out. I do have a few phones right here. I have the BlackBerry Key 1, which is an Android phone. I have, of course, pure Android, Pixel 2 XL, and the Pixel 2, just the regular Pixels 2s. I don't have the regular Pixel right now, but those. And the current Android phone that I'm using right now is the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. So that's the Android phone that I'm using. In case anyone's wondering, it's the Android phone I'm using. But let's dive into the 5 things that Android on the G1 or HTC Dream used that we still use today. Number 1 is going to be notifications. You can't have a phone without notifications. If you got a text, if you got a phone call, if you got an email, you get notifications. Back then, social media wasn't really as big, popular. Now we get Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. They had Facebook. It wasn't as popular as the software we have now, all the different applications. So we get more application notifications, and we get more notifications nowadays with different apps that developers make. So that's another feature that they had back then, which was the Android app market, now called Google Play, that had the same thing like games, and I believe they still had all the Android applications that we use, like Gmail, all that different stuff, but they didn't really have movies and TV shows, all that. That wasn't really a thing. You went to go buy DVDs, which was popular back then because no one had an iPad and watched movies. No one had download codes, so I don't think it was on that, but it was called the Android market till they changed it to Google Play. So that's 2 things right now that we still have. Another thing that we have, which is the 3rd thing, is going to be SMS and MMS text messaging. So, yes, believe it or not, the phones did have text messaging. And what's cool about this phone is that it slid up like this to type. It also did have an on-screen keyboard. As you can see, it turned on right here. And it did have an on-screen keyboard, so that's technically 6 things. I'll call that 6 things, so that'll be the 4th thing. They did have the keyboards for the on-screen if you do not want to use the side-up keyboard, but the screen was really small. It was actually smaller than the iPhone at the time, so I would use the keyboard. Even though these keys, it's really, really small to use compared to the BlackBerry with the keyboard. That's why I brought this one out, because it has a keyboard. And just the Android on here is just really different. I have an email right here, actually. I just got an email. Wow. Oops. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to use. It's so confusing. Okay. Another thing that we have, so we're on number 5 right now, and that's going to be the app drawer. So, they did have the app drawer. The app drawer was kind of different on this one. Instead of sliding up to get to your app drawer, you actually press this button right here, and it brought all your applications up. And it still had the scrolling menu, and this did have buttons on the bottom, so it had the hang up and the call, and then it had a menu button, a home button, a little dial trackpad, and a back button. But you can swipe through, and they have everything here. A lot of the applications, of course, all of them are going to look different. I tried going onto our website, DisTechPro.com, and that wouldn't even load on the browser. It said that our website may be shut down or moved to another site, and that's not true because it's still up and running. So, I mean, right now, if you wanted to use this currently as a smartphone, you're not really gonna get any use out of it. Now, this phone only works on T-Mobile, so luckily I have a T-Mobile account, so I could put my SIM card in here, and I got to test out everything with the phone calling. I didn't text anything, but I did call. It sounds great, the quality, but that's what that was. Now, I said 5 things. Now we have 6. Now, the 6th thing is going to be syncing for phones. Now, back then, SIM cards were these, like, massive SIM cards anyways. But that is what you transferred all your stuff on. Contacts, your text messages, your phone calls for the log and all that. That would all be connected to your SIM card. Nowadays, we have the cloud. So if you think about it, you still got to sync stuff with the SIM card. But now we have the cloud, so we can technically do the same thing. And yeah, so that's 6 things that's the same as what Android 1.0, which this currently has 1.0 on it, compared to Android Oreo, Android Pie, and Android Nougat, because this has not gotten Oreo yet. So I have all the 3 phones there, and then this is iOS. So, I mean, but looking how Android has changed right now, I mean, a lot of the features that we still use is on Android 1.0, which is surprising. But 10 years later, and again, this phone was released 10 years ago, and I'm lucky I have it. It had some great specs to it. It was a one-of-a-kind phone that a lot of phones didn't have. I mean, it was Android-based. It was supposed to be competing, which it still does with iOS. It had a slide-out keyboard, which was, like, crazy. It even had a camera on here that had better specs than some other cameras. And the thing is, which I love, is it's like Sony. It has a camera button right here. So you could go onto the camera, press here. I mean, of course, the camera isn't going to have... Let me go onto the camera here. The camera, which is surprising, they had 2 applications. They had camera and they had camcorder. So camcorder was to videotape. And believe it or not, the first ever iPhone couldn't even have video. This had video and had a regular camera. So, pretty awesome. So, I mean, you could press the button right here. I can't take any because I need an SD card. And you were able to switch even to, you were able to switch right here to the video recording, but it just went into a different app. Looked exactly the same. I mean, I love this. I mean, it's a little bit slow right now, but I did have to put a SIM card in here when I got it and had to log in with my Gmail account because it wouldn't let me set up, so that was kind of bad. I didn't really like that you had to sign in to use this. So a lot of Androids back then you had to do that, but now you don't need to sign in. You can skip and sign in later on stuff like that. Anyways, this is just, I mean, surprising. I've never held this. I just got it about 2 weeks ago. Bought it off of Amazon. It's in really good condition and for a good price that I got. It was under $100 in good condition. And you can find these in good condition as well for more than $500. But I didn't really care about getting it in box or anything. I mean, the iPhones, yes, but this... And also, speaking of iPhones, because the camera, forgot to mention, it didn't have a front-facing camera either, so that was what you're missing. Add it to number 7. Let's do 7. You know what it also had? A notification LED. If your phone was plugged in, you had a notification, you still got that LED that all the other phones have. And that, I forgot to mention, that was pretty cool that it had that in here for a 10-year-old phone. Some Android phones don't even have that. Like the, what is it, Motorola, the Z series, the G series, all that different stuff, they don't even have that light. It is, however, in the phone, the light, they do have it, but you're not able to activate it to use it unless you root your phone, which I'm not going to. But if you charge it and you plug it in, if you're turning it on, you see the notification light blinking, but they don't let you use it to get notifications, stuff like that, which is kind of upset. But yeah, this phone did have that. But it was a nice phone that I was reading reviews and all that. It did have a removable battery. You could take the back off, and you can see that it had right here a little protection so it didn't rub against the battery, and also had the speaker grill right here. It was funny too is that the camera lens for the glass is right here, and there's no camera right there. The camera, however, is right here, the sensor. So normally, phones that you take off has the covering, but this had the glass right here, so you could actually get to it and break it. That's why, But the removable battery did come out. It says HTC Innovation. It did have expandable storage on here. The charging, though, however, sucked because it is a mini micro, which is what they use to charge the phone. So you had to have a mini micro. You couldn't use just a micro till everything switched. Now we have USB-C, which all these phones right here have USB-C. And then there's Apple and has their own Lightning. So they kind of had their own charger. Apple had their own charger, which was the 30-pin connection. This one had the micro, the mini micro, then switched to regular micro. Yeah, so it's made with Google, by Google, which still is. Android, who knows if Android is going to keep going, because rumors are that we're going to be seeing a new type of Android system, because what does Q start with for a dessert? Yeah, there's not really a lot, so Android has to kind of figure out something, unless they're going to switch to like what Apple did with mountain lions, all the different lions, or whatever. But that's all I have for today. DisTech Pro, we have the magic. This video was brought to you by our parent company, Watching Productions. Please go to our Twitter, Instagram, and our Facebook and follow us and friend us. Also, please subscribe and turn the notification bell icon on so you can get the latest updates when we launch a new video. Also, go to www.distechpro.com and also join our DTP network. Everything gets posted there when we have new videos, and you get some special offers. You can also join our paid memberships, and you get some cool perks sent to you as well. That's all I have, as I've already said. My name is Jack. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, or afternoon, or night, or whatever time it is when you're watching this. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!